So let's start off with this whole idea of the concept of Queer Eyes. How did you come up with that, and maybe why? And this whole idea of telling straight men how they should be dressing and living.
In 2003, in the fall, we with Michael and I, Michael Williams, who was my partner, he's still my business partner, but at that time he was my husband. He and I and our best friends went to the Open Studios in South End. And the South End is kind of like out here in Hollywood. It's WeHo. It's the gayborhood, in the gayborhood. And we went to the Open Studios. And when we came up this big staircase into a big warehouse, there was a couple of hundred people inside the warehouse. And as we came up and into the room, this like weird hush fell over the room. And we thought it was us because we're walking into the room, you're looking right like, what's going on? And
Oh, eyes on us.
yeah, it was us. Look how fabulous we are. And the truth of the matter is, there's a woman in the middle of the room just screaming and berating her husband publicly. And I mean destroying him. Like, look at you. You're an absolute mess. Your hair, your shoes, your clothes. Why can't you be more like them? And she points across the room, and in the back corner of this big warehouse with champagne flutes and cheese in their hand, these three, the most attractive men you've ever seen, put together, set their stuff down, and they come running to the center of the room, and they grab the woman, and they remove her from the husband, and they just start loving on him. Look, you look great, and they're fixing his hair and tucking his shirt in and polishing his shoes and just seriously just loving on him like you've never seen, and looking at her like, no, ma'am, that is not how we do this. It's like this. And I turned to Michael, and this is where this moment of me being a vessel and being aware of the moment, I said, did you see that? That was like Queer Eye for the straight guy. And as the words came out of my mouth, I'm not going to say that I knew, but he knew. He turned to our best friends and he's like, I don't know what that is, but that's going to be something. Now, I had no money, and I mean zero money. But I had gotten in the mail one of those American Express things where they send you a blank check. And in the blank check, said, yeah, write yourself a check. And by the way, don't read the fine print that if you don't pay it back in 30 days, it's 22 or 27% interest compounded daily for the next whatever, right? And and I did something that only my 32-year-old self would have done through complete naivete and not knowing better, or quite frankly, not having a conversation with someone else. And I wrote a check for $5,000. And I went down the hallway to this young man named Todd Whipple. He still gets credit for this. He privately was day trading in his office. And I looked at him and I said, if I give you this $5,000, can you turn it into $10,000 in like a week?
Oh,
wow.
If he didn't do it. And so he turned that 5 into 10. I paid Amex back the 5. And I used the $5,000. I hired a photographer, a graphic artist, all the guys. Dave Metzler, who's in here, was my best friend and the original straight guy. He and I crafted the format together because we didn't know what formats were. We built it all out, put it in this, and this $5,000 piece of paper became what I took out to pitch the show Queer Eye. And I only pitched it to one place, and that was this teeny little network owned by Rainbow Media called Bravo. And Bravo had one show inside the actor's studio. And I pitched them Queer Eye for the straight guy, and they just laughed. It was like, I don't know what the hell that is, but let's do a pilot. And while we made the pilot, little Rainbow Media got bought by NBC Universal. And Bravo became Bravo because they believed in one show, and they launched Bravo on the back of Queer Eye at NBC Universal.